Michelle?
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll back to your house with you after work, so go ahead and let me know when you're done.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm gonna finish running these reports, and then we'll go in like 15 minutes, and I want to stop and get some coffee on the way home too, so I'll call John. Hello? Hey John, Michelle. Yeah, we're gonna be ready to go in about 15 minutes. Is that cool? Okay, you're gassing it up? Alright. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna stop at Starbucks on the way home too. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'll see you then. Thanks. Bye. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. But I think that you know by now that that's not how this business works. Not everything is an overnight success story. When I got started in 2005, it took me 3 months before I reached my original goal, which was to make $100 a day. But while everything might not be an overnight success story, it can be a success story. So come with me, I want you to meet someone.
How you doing? I'm Daniel Anderson, and I'm a former journeyman carpenter. I was first attracted to internet marketing because I didn't want a boss, and I didn't want to be in a dead-end situation. So I decided to try it out. I built a site, got a little bit distracted with other things, and kind of blew it off for a while. That was about a year ago. It's definitely easy to get nervous when you're approaching something new like internet marketing. I definitely was. Even though Michelle McPherson's my sister, maybe because she's my sister, there was a little bit of pressure there, but I figured I could just throw up a site, never worry about having to pay rent again. But I wasn't really looking at the whole picture. I wasn't looking at creating a business rather than just one random site and expecting it to make me, all kinds of money. So I started back up 3 months ago and approached it with a lot more intensity and knew that if I could just make $1, just that first dollar, then I could really make a living out of it. I knew that I could make something happen. The first site I built, the tech stuff was a little bit overwhelming, but once I had a few sites built, then I could just reference back, and eventually I just knew exactly what all the settings needed to be, what plugins I needed, just the whole routine. So, anyone can build a site, but, that's not where the challenge is the tech stuff. Your time's much better spent thinking about what you're going to build sites about and creating a profitable marketing system that you can apply to pretty much any niche. Once you have your system down, you can even hire someone to do the redundant tasks and all that, that's not important. So now in 3 months, I have a technique that works for me. I have an employee full-time to do all the boring stuff. I spend my time researching niches, keywords, topics, areas that I want to attack, and working on high rank and high traffic techniques. Since I have so much more time to spend researching and planning, I come across a lot more low competition, profitable niches. Honestly, chances are you're not going to be able to throw up a site and be able to retire from it. But what you can do, is what I did, is use Crowd Mountain as a blueprint to duplicate your success over and over and over again. It's like when a car company makes a new car, they don't try to make one car and sell it for $1 billion. They make the same car over and over and over and sell 1 billion of them. That's just how you want to approach building sites. You're creating a web of income that drives traffic and therefore more profit. I had a vague idea of what my sister did. I didn't really know for sure, but my first experience with it all was when I went to an internet marketing conference. And I met a lot of people there, a lot of the big names in internet marketing, and I realized that they're just like me and you. They're no different than, anybody that you know. They've just all found systems that work for them. And I knew that, if a normal guy like some of the people that I met can do it, then I knew I could make a system of my own. And I never thought within 3 months that I'd have an employee working with me and that all my time spent at the office was producing real, profitable results.
So we know that it isn't the technical hurdles that are the real problem, because there's answers to all those technical problems. And I'm going to show you a few when we get back to the office. The real problem is the uncertainty, and it's looking at the bigger picture and learning how to build a website, but how to turn that into an actual business over and over and over again. It's taking the conflicting advice that you get from the gurus and making that into a cohesive plan of action for yourself. Like one guru says that content is king, and another guy's going to tell you that the money's in the list. How do you know which one's right? And what if they're all wrong? What if they're all right at the same time? What I mean by that is that a website's going to be made of content, whether it's articles or video or whatever. So obviously content is king in that respect. Another person says that you got to build a list. If you have a list, you've got that autoresponder button where you email your list and make a bunch of money from it. You know, so both people are right. But none of that means jack without any traffic either. And traffic doesn't even mean anything if you can't replicate this process and do it over and over and over again. Now, I don't want you to be paralyzed by this uncertainty or all this conflicting advice anymore. I want you to have the same plan that I have, the same plan that Daniel has, to make this into a real business. So let me show you inside. We're almost there.
Let me give you the keys. This is the keys to the system that you can duplicate, the system that Daniel's been using, the system that I've been using. We are going to move kind of quickly in this video, so don't get overwhelmed. You can go ahead and pause the video, you can take notes, and you can even re-watch the video as many times as you'd like. No big deal, so don't freak out. But I am going to go quick. First thing you need, main keyword phrase. This is what your site is going to be about. So brainstorm and think of just different topics that you could build a site about. And you're going to use the Google AdWords keyword tool to check the search volume. This tells you how many people are searching for that keyword phrase every month. Go ahead and Google the Google AdWords keyword tool to get the URL. It's kind of long, so it doesn't really work so good to put into a slideshow for you. But if you Google it, you'll be able to find it, no problem. Now, you want a keyword phrase that has at least 30,000 searches a month according to this Google AdWords keyword tool in the global monthly search volume column. That'll make sure that the keyword phrase that you're aiming for actually gets enough traffic to make it worthwhile that you build a site around it. The other thing that we need to look for is competition. You want less than 100,000 competing results in Google. See in the upper right of this screenshot here, Google tells you how many sites you're competing against for the keyword phrase when you put it into quotes, and you want less than 100,000 competing results. Now we're going to work off of WordPress because WordPress allows us to add content and to make customizations with ease. You'll need a web host, and I recommend that you use HostGator because they have Fantastico, and Fantastico allows you to install WordPress very quickly and very easily. Once you've got WordPress installed, I want you to go to wordpress.org and find a theme that you'd like. Pick one that has a white background in the content area like the one in the top of this screenshot and is otherwise pretty simple. You do not want a ton of fancy graphics competing with your ads for your visitors' attention. You want the ads or your AdSense or however you decide to monetize your site to stand out. Now let's configure our site. We're going to need some plugins to optimize it. First one, all-in-one AdSense and YPN. This is going to add AdSense ads to your site so that you don't have to mess with the code or add the AdSense to individual posts. So it's really simple to use. Next one is all-in-one SEO pack. This is going to help your site have the most optimized on-page SEO possible. You want to configure the settings to target your main keyword phrase. So wherever it asks for title or keywords, you want to include your main keyword phrase there. Next one is easy privacy policy. Google requires that you have a privacy policy on any site that is running AdSense, and we like to be compliant. The easy privacy policy plugin makes that pretty easy. Thus the name, right? Next plugin is Global Translator. Now this will translate your site into a bunch of different languages, and we might as well pick up whatever foreign language traffic we can since we're already going to be creating content. It'll take that content, put it into other languages for you, and you can pick up traffic on that. So it's a good one to have. Next one is Google XML Sitemaps. Now this lets Google and the other search engines know what content you have on your site and where to find that content, so it can be helpful in getting your site indexed. Next one is redirection. You can use this to redirect from a raw affiliate link to a prettier link, and it'll also redirect one of your post URLs. If you go in and you edit the post and it changes the URL for it, it keeps track of that kind of thing so that nobody ever ends up with a 404 error. We've also got WordPress popular posts. This is nice to use the sidebar widget for it, and what it'll do is highlight your most popular content to your site visitors and then deep link to that content. Deep links from your main page to other pages on your site are always a good thing in Google's eyes, so that's why we use this plugin.